Hey guys, it's Tegan.
Hey Dr. John.
So we're going to be talking to you today about the effects of too much screen time. So John, what are the effects of too much screen time?
Well, it's a few of them. There's postural ones and there's brain ones. I'm going to talk about the brain ones today. We'll leave the postural ones till next time.
Okay.
But a few things. So training poor attention. When especially modern internet type of stuff. When I say modern, that's because I'm used to not having internet.
Yeah.
But modern stuff it's a lot of quick stuff. You look at something quickly, you move on. Articles are shorter, videos are shorter, everything's shorter, and really what you're doing is you're training people to have a shorter attention span. Now for kids, that's not good. So you don't want to have too much of that because it limits their ability to then focus on something for a long period of time.
Okay.
There are some other changes too. So a simple thing is that we get trained again to want, like even getting notifications on your phone or likes on on your Facebook page, or all these sorts of things. They're little dopamine hits, which is chemicals released in the brain that make you feel good. The more you get of them, the more you want to do it, and it creates addiction.
Okay.
Right? And that's again, spending more time on screens or too much time on screen creates this addiction to the same thing. So it makes you want to do more and more of it, spending more time. And the hours that kids spend on their screens, phones, tablets, all that sort of stuff these days is enormous compared to what kids would have spent 10 years ago and then 20 years ago. And some other basic stats, the more time you spend, there's been many studies on this, the more time you spend on screens, the more depressed you become. Good reasons for that, I won't go into that. The article goes into a lot more detail, but again, what we want to do is we want to train our kids to have healthy patterns of behaviour, and depression and addiction and poor concentration aren't those things. Okay, so that'd be perhaps the main ones. Perhaps another one, decreased sleep.
Of course, especially before bedtime.
Totally, yeah. So if you're winding your brain up and really getting it sort of wound up from lots of activity and especially bright lights and so on, that'll affect your sleep too. So none of those things are good for school-age kids, nor adults, but especially school-age kids.
And what are some of the things that we can do to help that?
So you can say perhaps categorize them. You can break it down into when, where, how, and what else.
Okay.
So when might be, what times do you allow this? You curtail the times that you allow screen time. Okay, 7 o'clock, no screen time after that. Okay. Might be where, okay, you only use your tablet at the dinner table.
Okay.
We don't have that in your bedroom. And that'll do a few things. It'll curtail hours. It'll also bring better posture. And there's other reasons behind that too. Okay. How? It might be what you're using it for. It's fine for young kids to do things that are perhaps creative or help them play music or learn something. But just violent video games or things that are just doing all those things that we talked about, addiction, short attention span and so on. Well, you don't want to have screen time and games and so on that create that. All right, so what you're doing is good. And perhaps what else is creating something better. Okay. Now most kids really enjoy hanging out with their parents until they become teenagers, and then they don't. But most kids want to hang out with their parents. Most kids want to be active. So if you give them other choices, they'll actually prefer to do those things. And sometimes screen is a last resort. So if you give them better things, they can help. All right.
Excellent.
So that's a few things.
Cool.
All right. I've probably gone on a bit much, but if you want more detail, read the article. I think there's some good information, and there's other good articles on stuff related to back to school, and of course moving on to this next month too. All right.
Perfect.
All right.
See you later, guys.